Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your April 2025 career tarot reading. Welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I'm Ronique. I hope you all are doing well. We are going to get right into it. April is a big month, Gemini, as we are finally seeing what is almost like the fallout from eclipse season back in March. Venus and Mercury will now move direct. So this is going to be a great time for you all to accomplish some goals this month. We will also have Mars entering Leo, Venus entering Aries at the end of, let me see, Venus will enter Aries, but we just had Neptune enter Aries at the end of March. So lots of Aries initiating energy going on. And then we have about a 2.5 to 3 week period of all planets direct that I will talk about. So take a look at the description box below. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Nine of Swords. We're going to go ahead and pull all our cards. The High Priestess, Major Arcana in reverse, Ace of Swords, Six of Swords, some kind of clarity coming on in here, Gemini. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles, beautiful to see after the Six of Swords. Star card, Aquarius energy, Major Arcana. Queen of Wands in reverse. And the King of Cups also in reverse. So interesting dynamic here with the King and Queen at the end. Let's go ahead and ask Spirit to send my Geminis a card representing the energy you all were working with back in March. That was a very dynamic energy moving month. So let's see what Spirit has for you. And you have the Star card. So here is the Star card here as well as here. So there is Aquarius energy working with you all, Gemini. And back in March, there is this conversation that you are having with yourself as to how you are working with yourself versus a group. So this could be colleagues, this could have been family, but I do think you are trying to focus more on attracting good ideas to yourself, especially because Aquarius is, or the Star card is a air sign. Many people think it's a water sign because it's the water bear, but it actually is an air sign. So conversations about where it is that you need to move through a mental energy to help yourself as well as to help others. So we'll see how that plays out during the month of April. All right, Spirit, if you can, oh goodness, cards everywhere. If you could please send my Geminis an oracle message for the month of April. Spirit, what do my Geminis need to know? And look at that, rejoice in celebration. So this month could bring some happy news for you and your loved ones. This could also be a celebration like you getting a new job, or possibly you stepping into some type of realization that you didn't celebrate in the past, but it feels like this has been a long time overdue. And so I think this is exciting because I do think between here, the Six of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Star card, somewhere here it looks like you all will be rejoicing in celebration, and possibly this is fruits of your own labor with that Seven of Pentacles. So far, Gemini, really nice to see the energy. Really nice to see also that you all are having some kind of clarity moment here in the month of April. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Now, remember, we came out of March with that Neptune entering Aries. It had been there or Neptune was in Pisces for 13 years. It entered Aries on the 30th of March. And by the time we get to April 2nd, Venus retrograde conjunct the North Node in Pisces, and Mercury turns direct in Pisces on the 7th. This is a lot of information going on. There is something here, Gemini, where you have been either needing clarity over a decision that you need to make. I think you all have been toying around with intuitive messages that have been coming to you, but you have been ignoring them. And I do think as you move throughout the month of April, this is going to become clear. I do think there was some type of decision, like I was saying back here with the Star card, where you needed to decide if you are going to help yourself or you're going to help the whole. And I'm saying that like maybe you were thinking about leaving a job, possibly moving. There's some type of big decision that came up back in March. And I do think now that Mercury turns direct in the sign of Pisces, as well as the big day is on the 12th when the sun is conjunct Chiron in Aries, I do think you could start thinking of some new ways to think through a goal. And I do think that's going to be really important for you all, Gemini, because you all have had Jupiter in your sign for this almost last year. And so I do think you all have had some big moves happening. And I do think many of you all are like finally getting to this point where you're like, I am ready to move on. This is no longer serving me. And I think that comes right around that Libra full moon on April 12th. Libra is another air sign, right? So you all are sharing this kind of conversation with Libra here at this full moon on the 12th about where is it that you need to solve some relationship questions. I do think many of you all also, once Venus turns direct on this same day, April 12th, you will finally realize, you know what, I don't have to stay in this place. I don't have to feel like I'm tied to maybe a certain business, a certain company, or even a home life. Some of you, it feels like you could be moving to a different destination, but I definitely think clarity comes in right around that Libra full moon. And I do think it will take some time for all of the pieces to fall into place for you to like make a decision. But I definitely think right around that Libra full moon and Venus turning direct. And I will tell you, a few days later on April 14th, this is when we have all planets direct between April 14th and May 3rd. So that's a lot of forward momentum for you all, Gemini. Now, I do think that by time you are moving through that all planets direct energy, look at this. 7 of Pentacles in the upright. That is like seeds that you have planted in the past are finally like fruitioning, like you're finally seeing some growth, you're finally seeing some progress, possibly some money has been coming in. But I do think that star card in reverse is like you're thinking back to March when you had these same realizations of like, do I need to be waiting for other people to move forward? Do I just do this on my own? And I think many of you all, by time we get to the 17th, when Mars enters Leo, this is when you all are making some kind of major decision where you're no longer worried about people like what they're going to think. I think you all are making some grand decisions by time you move into May. So I think that that's really good for you too, because that rejoice and celebration is, I think, you finally coming up with a plan. And I do think that by time you are ending the month, we come into the sun entering Taurus. Now we're in Taurus season by time we get to the 19th. And I do think by time you get right around, let's see, the 26th of April, when Mercury exits its retrograde shadow, there's 2 people possibly who are in control that may not agree with your decision. You may go to your boss and say, you know what, I'm really ready to leave this position or leave this department, or your family is like, well, do you really need to leave now? And I think that this could cause a little tension when we get to that Taurus new moon on the 27th, but you won't make big grand gestures to move on from this by time you get to the 30th when Venus enters Aries. So overall, Gemini, I think this is going to be a month of you all really getting crystal clear on what you want to do. I do think that for many of you all, this is job related. I do think many of you all have been planting seeds for a while now, so this is not going to be new for you. While others of you, I think, are trying to decide whether or not to go on your own, or you have some kind of conversations with parents or people in higher up positions that have a little bit of hold on you. So just be patient with yourself. I do think by the time you get to May, when all these planets have been direct for a few weeks, you all come into some clarity. So I hope this was helpful for you, Gemini. Let me know what you're looking forward to in the month of April. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs, and I'll talk to you later.